So we are in to the morning routine, and for me, the morning routine is massively important for setting me up for the day. It's, sets my intention. If my morning routine is right, generally the rest of the day is going to go really well. So what I always like to do is like a bit of a ritual for me. I'll make my Italian black coffee, I'll sit down with my journal and I'll set a bit of an intention for the day. I'll celebrate some things I'm grateful for, set some intentions for the day of what I want to achieve, and then maybe sometimes I'll sort of freehand about some of my thoughts and feelings depending on what's going on in life. I don't always do that part of it, but sometimes I'll do that too. So let's get into it. So what is 3T Fitness and what are we all about? Well, 3T Fitness came about by me wanting to create something that's bigger than myself, basically. I've obviously got a massive passion for health and fitness and helping people achieve some of the things that I believe I've achieved in my training career. The benefits of mastering your health and fitness go way beyond the physical, and I basically want to be able to reach as many people as possible, to help as many people as possible find that themselves. So 3T Fitness, what we're trying to achieve, well, my tagline, if we're going to talk about the tagline, is empowering people with the tools to master their health and fitness for life, in a nutshell. So that means that after someone's come in and worked with 3T Fitness, I want them to go away and be able to basically nail their health and fitness for life and not feel that they potentially need to have a coach ever again. Invariably, different goals come up and people will maybe want to work with a coach again, but that is the goal. Like, we want you to come in, nail things, and then feel like you've got all the tools that you need to then go in and excel, in a nutshell. So let's talk a little bit about how the name came up with 3T Fitness. Previously, the business was known as Touring the Trainer, and I thought, you know what, I do at some point want to have trainers working with me to help build the brand and work with as many people as possible. So how do we expand this? And obviously, in order to do that, it needs to be the business name needs to be something which is not totally individual to me. So 3T Fitness came about by basically throwing a poll out into my members group. I put a few names across and this name came up. And if we're looking at the breakdown of 3T Fitness, first of all, Touring the Trainer is obviously 3 T's, but also time to transform. So there's a double sort of meaning there. So that's basically how the name came about. So today is Tuesday. It's a check-in day with my coach. Yes, coaches need coaches. We also need the accountability, guidance and structure that someone who's been there, done it and seen it gives you, basically. So okay, so as I was saying, we all need that guidance, structure and accountability that we can get from someone who's been there, done it, seen it. So every Tuesday I'll check in with my coach and I'll give him basically the synopsis of the week in terms of things like body weight, how training's been, how nutrition is, maybe some barriers that have potentially cropped up, and basically give him all the information that he needs in order to put a bit of a feedback across to me that's going to move us forward in the week ahead. Now, I definitely see it as a collaboration, as I do with all of my clients. So although he will give some potential instructions, this is always going to be a bit of a partnership, and there'll always be a bit of a back and forth, and that's when this works the very best. So this week has not been without challenges. We always knew there's going to be challenges with any form of big goal. There's always going to be some hurdles that come up, and this is where the check-in process can come in really handy. All right, so where all the magic happens, supplements. Supplements are a very small part of the process, and I think that's often something that people get confused about. They think supplements are going to make a huge amount of difference when they really are the final few sprinkles of the dessert, shall we say. They're just a very small part of it, but if you're looking to dial it in terms of your body composition, they can help. And some of the things that I work with on the morning at the moment is a BCA. All right, I do creatine on a daily basis, as well as a couple of other bits. If you're in a harsh dieting phase, there is a supplement which I'll sometimes throw in. which is known as yohimbe. It's probably not something that I would recommend to everyone because it is, you know, it's for more sort of serious goals in terms of reaching serious body composition. It's not something I would regularly recommend to just your everyday client. But for me, we're looking to achieve something amazing over these next, you know, 10 to 12 weeks. So this is something that we will be implementing at some point. All right, so we've just been to the supermarket getting some food for the day. And I think it's worth mentioning that when you're really looking to dial it in, it's really important that you're making the very most out of your calories. And working with foods that are gonna help provide you with satiety and all the things that you need as you're trying to pull it in. So I'm a massive fan of having like a big green salad with a couple of meals a day. It really helps with volume and satiety and just makes your meals look a bit more interesting. At the minute, obviously we're starting to dig now, so a couple of hacks that I utilise within the process is a sugar-free sort of Fanta a day. I find that massively helps, a bit of a sweet tooth sort of thing. I throw in the odd bit of sugar-free jelly as well, because I often find that helps. And then this is an absolute banger. So total fudge yogurt, really low calorie, high protein, and goes an absolute dream with the jelly and some berries. A couple other bits. Recently moved into working with porridge oats because again, you know, satiety side of things, it really helps with that. And then obviously veggies. Again, massively helpful for satiety, obviously lots of nutrients within these as well. Basically helps to bulk out your meals. So I'm cooking my oats now, and there's a specific method that you need to employ to get the best out of your oats. First and foremost, a good amount of water helps because it makes it more voluminous. All right, so a good amount of water, and I like to mix both the oats and the whey together. Mix that in nice and properly. And then what you want to do is microwave it periodically every sort of 30 seconds, because much like boiling some milk, there's a very small window of opportunity you've got between getting like the perfect oats and then them spilling over and, you know, turn into concrete. So you need to be pretty specific here. So we're gonna do it every sort of 30 seconds. So if you're like me, you've got a bit of a sweet tooth, and I massively love my sweet bits. So to make the porridge oats a bit sweeter, I add something known as Truvia. So it's basically calorie-free sweetener, and it's from the stevia plant. So there's minimal sort of rubbish that goes into it, and I'd highly recommend it. Okay, so we've got meal one here. Done my fasted cardio this morning, and yeah, very much looking forward to this meal. So we got 50 grams of porridge oats, 100 grams of berries, some cinnamon, which helps sort of slow down digestion, and the amount with regard to how quickly your body processes carbohydrates, cinnamon actually slows that process down, so it can be beneficial on a fat loss phase. I've added some Truvia as well to sweeten it, and also some digestible fiber in the form of husk. So we're gonna tuck into this in a moment. I think just before we get into it, very quickly, I think that's something that's very important is the environment that you're eating in, especially in a dieting phase. You don't want to be eating in a period of time where you're feeling overly stressed or rushed for time. Obviously, we want to do the very best we can with the calories we're taking on board. So I always make a point of trying to be in a rested state, not stressed, not rushing around when I'm eating my meals. I'm going to digest the food better, do better with the calories I'm taking in. And that's obviously hugely important within this process. What we're doing now, we're gonna set the tone for this session. We're going to be working with a banded hack squat, and we're going to start this session right. doing parallel dip now. So this is one of my indicator lifts. For me, as long as I'm maintaining strength within this lift, I'm going to do a great deal of maintaining my musculature as we go into this dieting phase. The first set, I'm always aiming to sort of lift the most weight possible for a lower rep range, and the second set, we back off a little bit. Alright, so getting to the end of the session now, we're running out of time a little bit, so what I'm actually going to do is throw a couple of exercises together in the form of a superset to save a bit of time. We're not going to look to lose any intensity throughout this, it's just going to save us a bit of time because we've got stuff to do later on as well. Right, so we're here at Fierce Gym in Milton Keynes. We've just got done with a full body session. At the minute, the majority of my sessions are full body. It's something that I wanted to try throughout this photo shoot prep. You'll generally find that most people either work with either a body part split or they'll throw a couple of body parts in, but I wanted to trial the idea of working with full body workouts and see how that works as we diet down, how that is for sort of muscle retention, performance, and I'm excited for it. So today's session, what we did, we started off with legs. I find that starting off the session with legs really sets the tone for the session. It's the hardest part of the session, leg training, well for me it is anyway. It's probably the work that I enjoy the least, hurts the most, but it does set the tone. If you hit those first few exercises correctly, it really does set the tone for the rest of the session. So we started with hack squats, banded hack squats were absolutely gnarly, you'll see this in the video. And then we moved into some upper body work. Towards the end we threw in some sort of supersets just for efficiency of time. We're running out of time a little bit. But yeah, it was a successful session. You can see I'm sweating out of my arse. And yeah, it was a successful session. So what we're going to do next, guys, is we're going to go off, we're going to get a bit of a full body massage. It's something that I'm contemplating sort of getting in on a weekly basis just to take care of the body throughout the process. I'm smart about how I train. Okay. With things like leg press or squat, I work to the range that's available. Okay, good. I don't take it past what's, because obviously that's not going to do anything.
I mean, and to be fair, if you're trying to, if you're trying to like Olympic lift and you need that range, great. But most people,
I'm not Olympic lifting.
obviously we'll smash the back and the neck, smash the quads to over the knees.
Yeah.
Hamstrings and calves, you want to spend a bit of time on those as well?
Yeah, we can do.
Yeah. I'll flush them up because they don't sound like they're as much of an issue, but certainly the quads and the back,
Yeah.
I'll hammer, and then if we get time, we'll just do a little bit on them at the end as well.
Wicked. This is tough, this bit here. Yeah, that's painful when you're putting the elbow in that top bit. Oh, needed though.
That's it, man. No pain, no gain.
This is it.
Yeah.
So I just got finished with a sports massage with David Downs, sports therapy. He's just given me a bit of an MOT. It's the first one I've had in such a long time, and I'm feeling pretty good. So we're going to keep it consistent throughout this process. We're going to work with sort of a bi-daily sort of session, bi-weekly session to begin with, and see how we go. So Dave, yeah, do you want to give a bit of a heads up on what you did during the
Fine.
the
So
work?
you know, you complained about your knees before, so we did quite a bit of massage work to the quads, trying to get them nice and loose, get them moving, and then it was just a bit of work on the shoulders and the back, and really getting stuck in to break down some of those tight muscle tissues. So as you said, I think on a fortnightly basis, we'll look at keeping things going, keeping things moving, and then if you get any niggles along the way, we can just work specifically on those, and hopefully get you back performing to your best and get you doing what you need to do.
So we just got back from the gym, then the sports massage, and obviously now we're back at the apartment. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting a bit of aminos in. I'm a little bit mindful of the fact that I've not taken any substance in over the last sort of 2 to 3 hours. Usually I'd probably prefer to have got a meal in, you know, post this a little bit sooner, but just the way the day's planned out doesn't always go perfect. And I'm just going to get a bit of aminos in, get a few steps done, and then come back and we'll sort of make that meal too there. Invariably, you know, calories are king, and how you get those calories in across the day is going to be the most important thing. You know, if there's little gaps in between meals that aren't ideal, it happens. As long as we're hitting those boxes across the rest of the day, we're going to be golden. So a big part of my day is getting outside in the elements. I'm lucky to have this sort of backdrop right on my doorstep. You know, and getting outside, getting my steps in, you know, start of the day when daylight's at its brightest, is super important. It helps me to reflect on what I've got planned for the rest of the day, and also doubles up as allowing me to get my steps in across the day. That's going to contribute to, you know, hitting a step goal. That's going to help with my fat loss goals, obviously. So, you know, steps serves a few sort of benefits for me. It's not just getting your steps in to increase calorie burn. It's also a great time to reflect on what I've got planned for the day. So here we are. So just got back from getting some steps in. What I thought would be great to do is just give an overview of what we've done today. So we started off at my apartment. We spoke a little bit about how the day is going to roll, got my breakfast in, got into the gym, hit a load of content there, and finished off with my massage and then a bit of a walk around the park. So it's been a bit of an overview how a typical day could look, a day in the life of myself throughout this journey. And invariably there's going to be some ups and downs within this process, but I thought it'd be good to keep you guys in on the journey to show you what it's all about. So over the coming weeks, I'm going to be looking to capture you know, basically my lead up to 2 photo shoots that are going to be coming up. The first one is going to be September the 24th, I believe, which is on a Thursday. The second one is going to be November the 19th. And basically the reason for the photo shoots was to basically take myself through the same process as some of my clients are going to be striving towards, to walk in their shoes and make sure that I'm able to empathize with them on each and every part of their journey. I did something similar back in 2018, and the lessons learned within that process were huge. And I thought it was about time that I did it again. I captured this last photo shoot prep with a weekly sort of check-in over on IG. This time around, I'm going to be doing that again, but we're going to be getting a lot more footage and content in the form of a weekly vlog. I brought my man Nikal in to shoot the content, which I know is going to be amazing. And it's basically just going to give you a sort of behind the scenes look at how this process is going to work, why I'm doing it, the struggles, the hurdles that are going to come up, and hopefully me looking in some pretty bang tidy shape by the end of it. I'm also playing around with the idea of how that's going to look post-shoot, because obviously we know that it's not just getting to the shape of your life. Reversing out of that is a really tough goal as well, and it's potentially more of a challenging goal than actually getting to the shoot. So that's something I'm playing around with the idea of tracking as well. To wrap up for the rest of the day, I've got several meals to get in. The way my day often plays out is I backload quite a few of my meals, and this helps with like the hunger side of things for me. This might not work for everyone, but for me, I like to get my meals in, start my meals a little bit later, and this invariably allows me to bank some calories for later in the day. So I've got that to go. I've got a couple of client calls to do, which I'm looking forward to. One is a new client setup. We're going to look into his nutrition and actually set his nutrition up live on the call. Another one is a client sort of review. We're going to look into his progress so far and then set out some objectives for the next 12 weeks for him. And then I'm hoping I'm going to get a bit of downtime because there's been a lot going on today. So that's pretty much everything from this day, guys. To finish off, the message from 3T Fitness is we're looking to empower people with the tools to master their health and fitness for life. I'm excited to take you guys for the journey. Let's get it.